Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen.
More than 2,000 experts wrapped up on Friday a week of negotiations about plastic pollution to address what industry leaders in plastics say is a crisis. It was the first meeting of a United Nations committee set up to draft what is intended to be a landmark treaty to bring an end to plastic pollution globally. The United Nations Environment Program held the meeting in Punta del Este, Uruguay, from Monday through Friday. Delegates from more than 160 countries, plastic industry representatives, environmentalists, scientists, waste pickers, tribal leaders, and others affected by the pollution attended either in person or on a virtual basis. If an agreement is eventually adopted, it would be the first legally binding global treaty to combat plastic pollution. Leading the industry point of view was the American Chemistry Council, a trade association for chemical companies.
All politics are local. And what I mean by that is the challenges that we face often start at the local level. And so the idea that we could solve a global problem with a top-down approach, a one-size-fits-all model, probably isn't going to be very successful. The reason national action plans are really critical is because it helps countries address the specific challenges that they face in their country.
The United States, a top plastic-producing country, agrees that national plans allow governments to prioritize the most important sources and types of plastic pollution.
Yeah, the U.S. approach to the treaty is really one where the plastic waste problem is dedicated to the domain at the national level. It's really an unfortunate position because it's a low ambition and it burdens countries to address this massive amount of plastics that's coming into their countries. So it's similar to the Paris Agreement, where there's national obligations, but the Paris Agreement is really a failure right now. The negotiations for climate has been 30 years. If we look where we're at right now with climate, so if we look 30 years from now, what's set to be 4 times more plastic, we're in an extremely unfortunate situation. So you must have a global approach to this.
We must build an instrument that is broad enough and deep enough to cover the whole plastics problem, while also ensuring that all countries will participate. There's a lot to unpack here. We must eliminate and substitute problematic and unnecessary plastic items, ensure that plastic products are designed to be reusable, recyclable, compostable where possible, ensure that plastic products are circulated in practice, not just in theory and on paper, manage plastics that cannot be reused, and make sure that we talk about reduction on alternatives throughout the production chain.
Other plastic-producing and oil and gas countries also called for putting the responsibility on individual nations. Some refer to these countries as the low-ambition group. The self-named high-ambition coalition of countries wants an end to plastic pollution by the year 2040, using an ambitious, effective, internationally legally binding instrument. They're led by Norway and Rwanda.